Good day everyone. We are here to present the People's Police of China. First, China is the highest number of the police officers in the world. China, or Chinese, officially the People's Republic of China, is a sovereign state located in East Asia. PRC, or the People's Republic of China, is a single-party state governed by the Communist Party with its seats of government in the capital city of Beijing. It exercised jurisdiction over 22 provinces, 5 autonomous regions, 4 direct-controlled municipalities, and the 2 mostly self-governing special administrative regions. The Chinese Communist Party is organized based on the democratic centralism, a principle that entails open policy discussion on a condition of unity among party members in upholding the agreed-upon decision. In addition, Mandarin is the official language of China and also founded in October 19, 1949. And the operation jurisdiction is the PRC, or the People's Republic of China, and their headquarters is in Beijing, China. The People's Police is the national civilian police force of the People's Republic of China. Police in China is Renmen Zhengcha, have a variety of roles in addition to enforcing the law. They're also responsible for the maintenance of social stability, and in this sense policing in China perform not just a law enforcement function but a political function as well. The majority of national police force are under the jurisdiction of the Ministry of the Security, or the MPS.
Next is special police in China. There are 5 types special police in China. Number 1 is railway police. Number 2 is civil aviation police. Number 3 is transportation police, highway patrol team. 4 is forest police. And the last one is anti-smuggling police. Let's go first in railway police. Railway police responsible for maintaining order on trains and train station and investigation crime committed in relation to railway transportation. Railway police, also known as a railroad police, are law enforcement officers specially tasked with protecting railway property, personnel, and passenger. In Philippines, it's compared for Department of Transportation. Next is civil aviation police. Civil aviation police is maintain order in airport and provide security for civilian air transportation. Civil aviation police is general term for law enforcement officer who is specially tasked with ensuring the security and safety of civil aviation operation. These include airport, aircraft, and air navigation facility. For the Philippines naman, it's the PNP AVS group work closely with other agencies such as Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines to ensure the overall security of the Philippine aviation industry. Next is the Transportation Police Highway Patrol Team. Transportation Police Highway Patrol Team are responsible for providing security in waterway and land transportation. In the Philippines, it's compared for Highway Patrol Group, or called HPG. Next is Forest Police. Forest Police patrol national forest to prevent forest fire, poaching, illegal cutting, and other activity provided by the state of the law. For the Philippines, it's compared for Department of Environmental and Natural Resources, or DENR. They are tasked with enforcing environmental laws and regulation, include those related to forest protection. For the last one is the anti-smuggling police. Anti-smuggling police are responsible for preventing smuggling. In China, has a dedicated anti-smuggling police force which is under the dual leadership of the General Administration of Customs and the Ministry of Public Security. This force is responsible for combating smuggling activities and safeguarding the national economic interests. For the Philippines, there are a lot of agency uh, co- combating the anti-smuggling. First is the Bureau of Custom, BOCR, the Philippine National Police, National Bureau of Investigation, Philippine Coast Guard. This agency often collaborate to conduct joint operation and share intelligence to combat smuggling effectively. The specific agency involved in particular case depends on the nature of the scale of the smuggling activity.
So next is the Public Security Police. So the Public Security Police is the largest and most visible component of the Chinese police that performs a wide range of ordinary police functions. The Ministry of Public Security performs a wide range of ordinary police functions, including investigating crimes, maintaining police order, directing traffic, conducting patrols, administering the household registration system and the citizen administration card system, providing guidance to mass line crime prevention and security organizations, and providing services to community residents. So, ang equivalent nito sa Philippines or dito sa Pilipinas is yung PNP. So, similar lang din yung functions nila and yung trabaho.
Direct control municipalities. Number 1, People's Republic of China. They are different classification that a city can have. For example, they can be like a city in the United States or Canada that is controlled by a state or province. Or they can be what is called a direct controlled municipality. In China, as well as in North Korea, South Korea, Vietnam, and Taiwan, a direct controlled municipality is the highest classification of a city that can have. These cities have a status equal to provinces in that they are controlled directly by Chinese government. Number 2 is divided into districts, countries, towns, townships, and sub-districts. This is Shanghai, Chongqing, Shenzhen, and Beijing. The Philippines has many direct controlled municipalities, including highly urbanized cities are dependent component cities. For the highly urbanized cities, Manila, Angeles City, Bacolod, Baguio, and many more. In the independent component cities, Cotabato City, Dagupan, Naga, Ormoc, and Santiago. In the Philippines, local governments have some autonomy from the national government. They enact and enforce local laws and policies, and they have their own executive and legislative branch. The national government assists and supervises local governments to ensure they don't violate national law. That's all.
People's Armed Police Force. This was officially established at the national level in 1983, in line with the general policy of reducing the size of armed forces and transferring responsibilities to the civilian sector. The newly established force was formed from internal security units reassigned from the PLA to the Ministry of Public Security and from border defense and firefighting units. It is also paramilitary police force under the MPS with its more or less than 1.5 million personnel is organized into 45 divisions. This includes internal security police, border defense personnel, guards for government, buildings and embassies, and police communication specialists. Example units of People Armed Police Force. Number 1, Snow Leopard Commando Unit. Number 2, Special Police Unit. Number 3, Immediate Action Unit, National Police. These units are responsible for guarding party and state organizations and foreign embassies and consulates, as well as for responding to emergencies and maintaining law and order.
Now let's move on to People's Liberation Army, or the PLA. The PLA is the world's largest military force. In times of peace, isa sila sa mga nagpapalaganap nito. They also act as a police. And in times of war, they are the main forces na nagde-defend ng kanilang country. And they study unconventional tactics that could be used to exploit the vulnerabilities of a more technologically advanced enemy. So dito makikita natin that nag-aaral sila ng mga unfamiliar tactics or yung mga tactics na sila lang mismo ang nakakaalam that could be used para pagsamantalahan yung weakness or kahinaan ng kanilang mga kalaban na mas advanced sa technology. Branches of the PLA. First, ground force. The PLA deploys the world's largest ground force. In times of crisis, the PLA ground force will be reinforced by numerous reserve and paramilitary units. And ang makikita nating counterpart nito in the Philippines is the AFP, or the Armed Forces of the Philippines. And they have the same functions. They are responsible for ground warfare. Also, they are responsible in defending their country through land combat and operations. The second one is the Navy Force. Until the early 1990s, the Navy performed a subordinate role of the PLA land forces as part of its overall program of naval. It also utilizes the CJ-10 Naval Cruise Missile System, which made its first public appearance during the late 2009. So here, makikita naman natin counterpart nito sa Philippines is the Philippine Navy. And they also have the same function, of course. They are responsible for defending their country's territorial water from foreign aggressions and illegal activities. And they're also conducting both works, maritime surveillance. They are also protecting their marine assets and ensure the right passage. Kagaya na sabi ko kanina, para maiwasan ang illegal activities or illegal products na makapasok illegally sa kanilang country, tulad na lang ng drug trafficking, firearm smuggling, people smuggling, and sea piracy. So, kung sa China, they have the CJ-10 Naval Cruise Missile System. Here in the Philippines, we have the BrahMos Supersonic Cruise Missile, and it is being operated by the Philippine Marine Corps under the command of the Philippine Navy. And third one is the Air Force, the Aerial Warfare Service branch of the PLA, and the largest air force in Asia. Its function is to defend the mainland China and thus nuclear delivery. So, ang makikita naman natin na counterpart nito sa Philippines is the Philippine Air Force, or the PAF. And both of them are responsible for defending their country through aerial. So, sa air. And sa China, ang Air Force, syempre alam naman natin that China is one of the largest producer ng nuclear. So, if there's a country na bumibili sa kanila ng mga nuclear weapons, ang kanilang Air Force ang nagdi-deliver ng mga product na yun. And fourth is the Second Artillery, or the Strategic Missile Force. It controls China's nuclear and conventional strategic missiles. Sa Philippines, we have this. Sa Philippines, makikita natin sa Philippine Constitution Article 2, Section 8, na mababasa natin doon that our country has freedom of nuclear weapons. So, by that, the Philippines doesn't have any nuclear weapons. Here are the kinds of police. So, first is the People Armed Police. And the People Armed Police is the Chinese paramilitary unit that is responsible for internal security, right control, counterterrorism, disaster relief, and maritime rights protection, and as well as providing maritime support to the peoples Liberation Army. Next is the State Security Police. The State Security Police is controlled by the MSS, which means Ministry of State Security. So the Ministry of State Security is a civilian agency. And this kind of police perform secret police duties and help maintain social stability and preserve the power of the ruling Chinese Communist government. Next is the Judicial Police. So the Judicial Police is part of the legal system and are responsible for maintaining order and security in courtrooms, as well as assisting judges and prosecutors in judicial investigations. Next is the prison police. From the word itself, prison, the prison police are responsible for prison security and perform prison guard duties and assist in prison administration. So makikita natin counterpart nito sa Philippines is the Bureau of Corrections. And last is the quasi-police. So the quasi-police is known as Chengshan Operate in other location of China. So this is kind of police that is frequently hired by the officials of China to assist them in carrying out problematic tasks such as collecting taxes and fines and evicting peasants from seized land.
Okay, next is yung qualifications. So first, they need to be a citizen who has reached the age of 18. So ang equivalent sa atin, in terms of age sa PNP, they need to be 21 years old or not more than 30 years old. Next, to endorse the Constitution of the People's Republic of China, and also to have a fine political and professional quality and good conduct. They also need to be in good health, physically, emotionally. And next, to have an educational background of senior middle school or above. Sa atin, sa PNP, ang kailangan is baccalaureate degree. So, kailangan mo na makatapos ng college bago ma-qualify or maka-apply sa PNP. Lastly, they also need to become a people's policeman out of his or her own volition. So, hindi sila pwedeng ma-force na mag-join. Kailangan sariling kusa nila na mag-join sila mismo. Next is yung requirements. Age requirements, same, below 25 or 30, stated earlier, to 18. For people in remote areas, height requirements. So yung minimum height requirement nila is 1.7 meters for male and 1.6 for female candidates. They also, gaya ng sabi kanina, kailangan rin ng fitness nila. Good health. Physically fit dapat, and also sa eyesight. Same standards sa PNP. And sa here's the China.
Next is recruitment and selection in China. Number 1 is written examination. Number 2, agility test. Number 3 is psychological evaluation. Number 4 is background check. Number 5 is once selected the new recruit, it's required to go through a 1-year probation period. Number 6 is only those who perform satisfactorily and pass the end of the term examination will be formally hired. The similarities between China and Philippines is written examination. Both systems include written examination to access knowledge of law, regulation, and general intelligence. Next is physical fitness. Both countries prioritize physical fitness required candidates to pass physical agility test and medical examination. Next is psychological evaluation. Psychological tests are administered to evaluate mental stability, emotional intelligence, and suitable for police work. Next is background check. Both countries conduct through background check to verify criminal history, educational qualification, and personal conduct. The difference between Philippines police and China police is political loyalty. China has strong emphasis in place on political loyalty to the community party. Candidate must demonstrate an adherence to party in the ideology and be willing to uphold its authority. While Philippines focus in more individual merit, integrity, and adherence to Philippines constitute and law. Next, training intensity and duration. China known for its intense and comprehensive training program. Chinese police recruit undergo religious, physical, and mental training often lasting for several months. While Philippine National Police offer a religious training program, but the duration and intensity may vary compared to China. Next is the emphasis of community policing. China police system places a strong emphasis on community policing with officers actively engaging with public and building trust. While Philippines community policing is grow intent, the Philippine National Police traditionally focus on enforcement and crime prevention. The last one is corruption perception. China is known for its low of corruption and the police force is generally prescribed as honest and trustworthy. While Philippine National Police has faced challenges related to corruption and the police misconduct alternate effort have even made to address this issue.
Guys, let's move on to the training. Number 1 is the basic training. For recruitment process, new recruits typically undergo rigorous physical and mental tests before joining police academies. For police academies, institutions like the Chinese Police Public Security University and other provincial academies provides foundational training in law enforcement, legal knowledge, martial arts, and physical fitness. For duration, basic training often lasts several months to a year. Dito sa basic training kung sa Philippines naman ay ang Public Safety Recruitment Course. Ito ay para for newly appointed police non-commissioned officers. Number 2 is yung specialized training. For counterterrorism, training focuses on handling terrorist threats, hostage rescue, and emergency response, especially regions like Xinjiang. Sa PNP naman ay meron tayong tinatawag na SAFCC kung tawagin ay Special Action Force Commando Course. For cybersecurity, with increasing cybercrime, officers are trained in digital forensics, hacking, prevention, and data protection. Dito naman ay ang PNP Anti-Cybercrime Group. The mission is to enforce cybercrime laws, pursue an anti-cybercrime campaign, and provides assistance to victims. For crowd control and protest management, officers learns to methods to disperse protest, handle public dissent using both non-lethal and coercive measures. Sa PNP, ito ay ang PRCG. They trains to undertake and orchestrates police community relation group and activities in partnership with concerned government agencies. For intelligence gathering, emphasis in place or surveillance including digital and physical monitoring. Sa PNP ay meron tayong tinatawag na intelligence group. This group trains to serve as the intelligence and counterintelligence operating unit. Number 3 is the use of technology. Officers are trained to use advanced surveillance technologies including facial recognition systems, drones, powered and monitoring tools. Sa PNP, ito ay ang Crime Laboratory Group. The trains provides scientific and technical investigate aid and support to the PNP. Pang-apat ay ang ideological training. Police officers receive an education in Communist Party ideology, loyalty to the state, reinforcing their role as protectors of the party and national stability. Sa PNP, ito ay ang Public Safety Officers Basic Course for a newly appointed police commissioned officers. Panglima ay ang Tactical and Combat Training, practical drills in martial arts, weapon handling and lethal force techniques, use of simulated scenarios to prepare for real-life encounters. Sa PNP ay ang Basic Internal Security Operational Groups. Ito ay a 60 days training program that covers small unit operations, tactics, techniques, and procedures. The program aids to develop a tactical mindset, discipline, leadership qualities, and individual unit skills. Pang-anim ay ang regional variations in sensitive areas like Tibet and Xinjiang. Training includes managing ethnic tensions and religious extremisms. Border regions may focus on smuggling, cross-border crime, and maintaining border security. Ang pagkakaalam ko dito sa Pilipinas ay hawak na ito ng Bureau of Customs and Bureau of Corrections kasi sila ang namamahala sa borders ng Pilipinas. Pangpito ay ang collaboration and international influence. China has partnered with countries in Asia, Africa, and Middle East to provide training to foreign police forces, sharing techniques and technology. Joint exercise with international law enforcement agencies occasionally occur, focusing on counter-terrorism and transnational crime. Panghuli ay ang continuous development. Officers undergo regular refresher courses to keep updated with new techniques, laws, and technologies. Advanced courses are available for senior officers focusing on management, strategic planning, and police making. Sa PNP naman, ito ay tinatawag na Public Safety Senior Leadership Course, a mandatory course for senior PNCOs that teaches managerial and leadership skills for administrations. That's all for the training. Thank you.
Promotion system. Each promotion to the next higher class requires an interval of 3 years for those holding ranks from Constable 2nd class to Superintendent 1st class. Each promotion to the next higher class requires an interval of 4 years for those holding ranks from Superintendent 1st class to Supervisors 1st class. The periods during which the People's Police receive in-service training in schools or academies shall be included in intervals for the promotion in their ranks. Qualifications for promotions in ranks. Number 1. Implementation of laws, regulations, and policies of the state and observance of laws and discipline. Officers are expected to follow and effectively implement the laws, regulations, and policies of the state. This includes observing the legal framework and maintaining discipline within the police force. It ensures that police officers not only adhere to the law but also support the broader effective of the state in their daily duties. Number 2. Competence for the post. This refers to the officer's ability to perform the duties required by their current rank and the next potential rank. Competence includes both the technical skills and leadership qualities necessary for the position. Officers must demonstrate their capacity to handle the responsibilities associated with higher ranks. Number 3. Maintenance of close ties with the masses, honesty in performing official duties, and decency and uprightness. Police officers are expected to build and maintain a positive relationship with the public, reflecting the importance of community trust. In performing their official duties is crucial, as is maintaining moral integrity and professionalism. Decency and uprightness emphasizes ethical behavior, fairness, and respect for individuals, contributing to the image and credibility of the police force. At the end of an interval for promotion, those who are qualified for promotions after appraisal shall be promoted to the next higher class. Those who are not qualified for promotion shall receive a deferred promotion. Those who have rendered outstanding service may be promoted ahead of time. After the completion of promotion interval, officers are appraised based on these qualifications. If they meet the required standards, they will be promoted to the next higher rank. Officers who do not meet the qualification for promotion will face a deferred promotion. This means that their promotion is postponed until they demonstrate the required qualifications or improve their performance. Officers who have made exceptional contributions or demonstrated extraordinary performance may be promoted ahead of time. This highlights the recognition of merit and exceptional achievements in the police force. The promotion system is designed not just based on seniority or time served, but also on an officer's ability to follow the law, maintain professional competence, uphold ethical standards, and build strong community relations. Officers who excel in these areas are rewarded with timely or expedited promotions.
So here let's see the difference in ranking system of the PNP and the PPC. Sa PNP, we have the commissioned officer from Police General, Police Lieutenant General, Police Major General, Police Brigadier General, Police Colonel, Police Lieutenant Colonel, Police Major, Police Captain, and Police Lieutenant. And some non-commissioned officers naman are the Police Executive Master Sergeant, Police Chief Master Sergeant, Police Senior Master Sergeant, Police Master Sergeant, Police Staff Sergeant, Police Corporal, and Patrolman or Patrolwoman. Sa PPC, we have Recruit, Probationary Constable, Constable First Class and Second Class, Superintendent First Class, Second Class, and Third Class, Supervisor First Class, Second Class, and Third Class, and Commissioner First Class, Second Class, Third Class, Deputy Commissioner General, and Commissioner General. So in the PNP, the highest rank is the Police General, while in the PPC, the highest rank is the Commissioner General. And the lowest rank sa PNP is the Patrolman or Patrolwoman, while sa PPC naman is the Constable, either first class or second class. So sa PPC, recruit or cadet, here nasa training school pa lamang sila. And after that, magiging probationary police constable na sila, wherein binibigyan sila normally ng 1-year probationary period kung saan na-assign sila sa different police stations or subunits sa China para ma-familiarize mga real police operations. And sa constable, first class and second class, and patrolwoman or patrolman, they have the same functions wherein they operate as traffic enforcers or nagro-road patrol sila. Yeah.